guys, welcome back to a sports stuff video. Today, we're talking about the NFL playoffs! And are the Browns are in the playoffs! That's right. Not only are the Browns in the playoffs, but the final game has finally been played. The Buffalo Bills beat the Miami Dolphins, meaning the Dolphins will be playing the Chiefs in the wild card, and the Steelers playing the Buffalo Bills. Let's get into the video, me predicting the AFC and NFC, and honestly, I might go all the way to the Super Bowl, but the main focus is wild card weekend. Let's get into it. Hope you guys do enjoy. Let's get into the clip, if I can. Hello? All right, so first up, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Buffalo Bills. In my opinion, I do think that the Bills are going to win this game. The Steelers, their offense, yes, with Mason Rudolph, is more powerful than it was before with Kenny Pickett. But I just think the Buffalo Bills do have just enough firepower to beat them out. Plus, TJ Watt has a high MCL sprain. They lose their best defender on their defense, and they really have been winning games this year by their defense. I just don't see the possibility of them winning this game without TJ Watt. So I am going to go the Buffalo Bills, meaning that... Oh, let me actually do it like this. I'm going to do the X. Whoa, hey. Meaning that the Steelers I do think the Steelers are going to lose to the Buffalo Bills. Then we have the Miami Dolphins versus the Kansas City Chiefs. This would be a really fun game. Because what Kansas City Chiefs are we going to get? Are we going to get the Kansas City Chiefs this year who drop every ball, who can't get open, who only go through the run game, but then they can't get any play action off the run game, whose defense is mediocre at times? And what team of the Miami Dolphins are we going to get? Are we going to get the Miami Dolphins where just the injuries, too many injuries have stacked up for them to where they can't overcome it? Losing Bradley Chubb, Xavier Howard, Jalen Phillips, three of your top defenders, two of them being your best pass rushers, are out for the season, both with torn ACLs, I believe. That's tough to overcome on offense. Your offensive line is just not there yet. Austin Jackson has improved, yes, but he's not there yet. Tight end, you don't really have any firepower at tight end. You're really Tyreek Hill central. When are you going to get Jalen Waddle back fully healthy? Tyreek Hill just missed out on a 2,000-yard season because of injury. If he wasn't injured, he would have easily gotten that 2,000-yard reception season. It all depends on what version of these teams are going to get. I'm going to bet on what I've seen so far, right? What I've seen so far, I'm going to bet the Miami Dolphins over the Kansas City Chiefs as of right now. Maybe I am going to go black. I thought we're going black. And then, whatever. Yeah, I am going to go with the Miami Dolphins beating the Kansas City Chiefs. So, yes, it's an upset, but literally just a day ago, the Miami Dolphins were the 2 seed. They lost one game to drop out of the 2 seed. So I do still think the Miami Dolphins are the 2 seed capable team. I think the Kansas City Chiefs, this might be one of the better games of the wild card weekends, but I just don't see the Kansas City Chiefs beating the Miami Dolphins because Tyreek Hill, I believe this is his first game back against the Kansas City Chiefs. It might be his second. It might have been a regular season game that he faced them, but I know in the playoffs it's the first time he's facing them. I just don't see, they didn't want to pay him the money. They'd rather trade him. They won a Super Bowl last year without him. I think there's going to be a lot of bad blood when it comes to that aspect. Maybe as people, he likes them, but like the team, the organization, the franchise, the owners, I do think he has beef with. I think he's going to go off probably 150, maybe 2 touchdowns. And if Jalen Waddle can come back healthy this game, I would expect another 80 yards from him. I just don't see this offense beating the Miami Dolphins offense. But maybe they don't have to. Maybe the defense comes out, and maybe they pick Tua off, get a pick 6, and beat them. Again, I think the Chiefs could win this game, but I think I am going to go with the Miami Dolphins to win it right now. Then the Browns versus the Texans. I'm going to try and be as... I'm going to do that last. Let me do that. Let me do the Browns game last. I want to try and sound as unbiased as possible. So let me go all throughout the playoffs, and we'll come back to the Browns. It's a little cold in my room right now. The Packers versus the Cowboys. Very fun matchup. Very fun matchup indeed. Obviously, it's Jordan Love, not Aaron Rodgers. Jordan Love has played pretty well the last month or so. Obviously get him into the playoffs. Awesome for Jordan Love in his first season as a starter. He'll probably get a multi-year contract from the Packers now. Cowboys, they've looked dangerous at times, but they've also looked weak at times. Obviously, this week they look dominant. I think this could be the year that they go on an NFC Championship run. I am going to go the Dallas Cowboys over the Green Bay Packers. This is not mitigating at all what the Packers have done this year. This is not saying that the Packers are ass. It's just saying, I trust the Dallas Cowboys and their experience in the playoffs over this Packers team. They missed the playoffs last year, obviously, and their team is very young. A lot of their guys on the team have not played in the playoffs because they're only a year or two into their contract, or they've been backups when they were in the playoffs, right? I do think the Packers could put up a good fight. I just don't see them beating the Dallas Cowboys with how the Cowboys are playing right now. Again, I think this Cowboys team is the best shot they have to make it to the Super Bowl. They definitely will get to the NFC Championship game, in my opinion. But I do think they can beat the Packers round one. Again, if the Packers beat the Cowboys round one, the Cowboys are firing everyone. Everyone on their coaching staff is gone. Dak is probably gone. They might go through a major rebuild if they lose this game. This is like really the last year, in my opinion, of this window with Dak Prescott, right? Because you got to pay Dak another contract this offseason. CeeDee Lamb's have to get a major contract. Micah Parsons a major contract. Trey Diggs is coming back healthy next year, so maybe you could like say, hey, we got another year or two on this window. But I think this is the prime year for them to make a run for the Super Bowl. And I see the Packers, they're a year or two early, right? Awesome for them. First season with Jordan Love to make the playoffs. Awesome for the franchise. Awesome for the fans. But I do think the Cowboys are going to beat them week one. I mean, in the wild card. Rams versus Lions is fun because Matt Stafford going back to Detroit in the playoffs. He's already won a Super Bowl, but I don't see the Rams beating the Lions. I really don't. As much as I would love the Rams story this year, this is a team that I thought could have a top 10, top 5 pick in the NFL draft. The fact that they're in the playoffs as the 6th seed, major accomplishment for real. Major accomplishment by the Los Angeles Rams, Sean McVay, Les Snead, their GM. Great drafting. Same thing. I just think that the Lions are this is the Lions season, right? Like last year, I thought they could have made the playoffs halfway through the season. They started 1-7, but they were not a 1-7 football team. They went on that giant run to go 9-8. And I thought this is gonna be a team when they're in the playoffs, no one wants to play them. And it's almost the exact same team but better, right? It's the exact same team but better this year. Sam Laporta is injured, I believe. I actually didn't watch this game this weekend. I did not watch the Lions game. I believe Sam Laporta got hurt, so that might change my opinion. But I still think this Detroit Lions team with Brock Wright and who's their other tight end, whatever the other tight end's name is. I know Brock Wright is still on the team. Their weapons at wide receiver, their run game, like this team is primed this season with everyone that they have on roster to make a run as well for the Super Bowl, right? I am gonna go Detroit Lions. I think this run game will be too powerful for this defense. I think the LA Rams, if they can get Kyron Williams back healthy, they can also put up a good play in this game. Matt Stafford versus Detroit Lions. Wow. Jared Goff versus LA Rams. Wow. The script writers went crazy. I think this will be a great game, man. I'm very excited. When is this Lions game? When are they saying this Lions game is? Lions, Rams. When is that game? I'm trying to figure out what day that is. There we go. Detroit Lions wildcard tickets. So it should pop up what day, obviously. Oh, it's Sunday Night Football. Oh, it's Sunday Night Football. The Rams versus the Detroit Lions. That is great. I am going to go to the Lions. That's great. Sunday Night Football. Oh, heck yeah. Buccaneers, Eagles. You guys are going to hate me for saying this. I'm going the Buccaneers. I'm going back to Mayfield. Man, this is the thing with both these teams. When their offenses are clicking, 35, 40 points a game. When it's not clicking, 8 points at most. 8 points at most. And that is a touchdown, a missed field goal, and then a 2 points safety. That's what these two teams are. They're either 40 points a game or 8 points a game. Both defenses are really solid still. The Eagles defense is on the downturn. The Buccaneers defense is on the uptick. So I am going to take the Buccaneers defense over the Eagles defense right now. And offensively, again, when the Buccaneers offense is not clicking, their defense can hold them. The Eagles, when their offense isn't clicking, their defense can just stay mediocre, right? They stay the course. They bend, they break. They bend, they break. The offense puts them in such bad situations, they can't succeed every single time they're on the field. So they get blown out a lot. They've lost 5 of their last 6. I think Nick Sirianni gets fired. I mean, his head coaching job has been horrible this season. Offensive coordinator Brian Johnson, horrible this season. Their defensive coordinator Sean Desai, horrible. When you lose both your offensive and defensive coordinator in one offseason, and you didn't really have plans to immediately rehire those positions, and they weren't ready. They were not ready for both those position groups to lose their coordinators. They just weren't ready, and that's okay. That's okay. You had a boom season last year. You go to the Super Bowl, almost win the Super Bowl. You boomed. And then you lose both coordinators that you were not expecting to lose immediately. And their replacements are not as good because they weren't expecting to train their replacements immediately. And then boom, they're now the coordinators. The Buccaneers, they're primed for at least a couple games in the playoffs. Again, I'm going to go the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, my team, Cleveland Browns versus Houston Texans. I am going to go the Cleveland Browns for one reason only. One reason only. Yes, they beat them earlier in the season, right? The Browns blew out the Texans earlier in the season without CJ Stroud. You want to know who was healthy that game, though? Their entire defensive back group. Everyone was healthy that game, and Amari Cooper went for 250 yards. Joe Flacco, 3 touchdowns. I'm taking the Cleveland Browns over every single AFC team but the Baltimore Ravens. And I would take them over every NFC team. All of them. The only team, I've been saying this for at least 4 weeks now. You can ask my brother, ask my coworkers. I've been saying this for at least 4 weeks. I'm taking the Cleveland Browns under Joe Flacco on this run over every NFL team over the Baltimore Ravens. I would not say the Ravens would beat the Browns. I would say I'm not putting money on it. No expectations. Let the game be played. No expectations. No, like, oh, this could happen. This could happen. I have no idea what's going to happen in that game. But any other game, I'm taking the Cleveland Browns. Any other game. Because this defense is stifling. Most punts in the league by a wide margin. Least amount of first downs allowed by a wide margin. Most 3 and outs by a wide margin. Turnovers, I wish we had more. I wish we had more. The power of Myles Garrett, when you have to put a tackle, a tight end, and a running back chipping him, that takes away 3 players for this one guy. Zadarius Smith playing well. Ogbo Okoronkwo coming back for the playoffs. Grant Delpit coming back for the playoffs. This defense gets an injection boost before the playoffs. Again, Houston Texans. Amazing that you guys made the playoffs in your first season with CJ Stroud. He comes and plays an Ohio team. He played Ohio State. But just like Josh Allen in 2018, his rookie season, they made the playoffs, and he played in the playoffs in his rookie season. Same exact story is going to happen. First round exit, he'll come back next season, be better. I don't see a world where the Cleveland Browns lose to the Houston Texans. Not that the Texans are bad, but I just think the Cleveland Browns, no matter what, are going to win this game. I would put $100 for whatever odds they have. Whatever they want, I'll put $100 down. Because no matter what, the Cleveland Browns will win this game. David Njoku, first time in the Pro Bowl. Doesn't matter. He won't play in the Pro Bowl. He'll be in the Super Bowl. He'll be in the Super Bowl. I'm being a little over-exaggerating. I do think that the Texans, this might be a game where it's like 35-26, right? Or 35-28, or 35, 6, 7, 8. 35-27, right? Where the Browns score 5 touchdowns, 3 in the air, 2 on the ground, and the Texans score 3 touchdowns with 2 field goals, and they have the ball on the last drive to try and win the game, right? With a 2-point conversion, win the game. That could easily happen this game. Or it could also be 35-17. We blow them out. We're on to the divisional round. I just don't see a world where the Texans win. I would put more money on a 35-27 game where it's Joe Flacco, 3 touchdowns, interception, and a fumble. And then Jerome Ford and Kareem Hunt have their touchdowns as well. Maybe an Elijah Moore screen, he gets a touchdown. And then obviously CJ Stroud will do what CJ Stroud does. Get 2 touchdowns in the air. Barely get any incompletions. I'm taking the Cleveland Browns, though. I think it's a fair point to say that this offense, no one's been able to stop Joe Flacco. No one. No one has stopped Joe Flacco in this offensive scheme. No one's come close. And for defense, we're stifling. We're in the playoffs. The city of Cleveland, like, you know, I'm so excited, right? I'm so excited for a Browns playoff game. And if for some reason we ever let's just say we beat the Ravens and yeah, because that's what it'd be, right? No, if the Bills beat the Ravens, what would it be? Because the Bills are yeah. So we would okay. I'm getting ahead of myself. This is my prediction for the wild card round, right? So Bills beat the Steelers at home. Miami Dolphins upset the Kansas City Chiefs. Browns upsets the Houston Texans. Cowboys take matter in their own hands, beat the Packers. Lions beat Matthew Stafford at home in the playoffs. Buccaneers beat the Eagles in the playoffs. Nick Sirianni gets fired. Then that'll then be because Ravens would face the lowest seed, right? Yes, they would. So they're 6. So it would be Buffalo and Browns, and then Dolphins versus the Ravens. It would then be Dallas. Oh no, it'd be Lions. Or Detroit versus Dallas. No, wait. Because I'm trying to figure out what the seeding would be. Because they're the 2 seed. So Dallas for sure. They're the 3 seed. They would face, and then Buccaneers. So yeah, we would see this in the divisional round then. We'd see Miami versus Baltimore Ravens play host to the Miami Dolphins. Buffalo plays host to the Browns. Dallas plays home to the Buccaneers, and San Fran plays home to the Cowboys, to the Lions. If this were to happen, I'm taking the Browns all day, every day. 3 interceptions and 2 fumbles from that offense. I'm taking the Ravens over Miami. I'd probably take Dallas over Buccaneers and Lions over San Fran. Baltimore. Oh, here you go. Baltimore. I think they would destroy the Miami Dolphins. I think they would do it again. They just beat them earlier in the season. I think no way the Baltimore Ravens lose. I think the Browns would beat the Buffalo Bills. This same thing, man. Josh Allen is turnover worthy. Throws a lot of turnover worthy plays. They don't really get a lot of play from the wide receivers anymore. Stephon Diggs has not been the same since the first month of the season. Their run game, yes, is better with James Cook, but I think that we would demolish them defensively. And offensively, I think we would do enough to beat the Buffalo Bills. So I would put the Cleveland Browns. And then Dallas over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. There's more experience, right? Baker, his fairy tale run ends in the divisional round. Still a successful season. Everyone keeps their jobs. And Detroit, yes, I understand, right? I understand, like, wow, the Lions beat the 49ers, really? I think this Lions team is better, man. I really do. I think this Lions team is way better. I think defensively, especially with CJ Gardner-Johnson back, their secondary gets a little more shored up. Their defensive line has been playing really well. Their linebackers can cover left to right in 2 seconds. Yes, San Fran's defense is better, but their wide receiver, their cornerback group is not that good yet. They're developing still. Travarius Ward and Ambry Thomas are the only ones I'm scared of. I'm not scared of their safeties. And then, again, the Lions offense, man, like, they're powerful. I do think they would beat up on that San Fran defense. That would then mean Dallas hosts the NFC Championship game with Detroit coming back. A rematch of Week 17. Give it to me. And then Browns versus Baltimore for the 2nd time in the season, or the 3rd time this season. Give it to me. And again, like I said, I don't want to put any expectation what would happen in this game. No idea. I have no idea what this would mean. Joe Flacco going back to Baltimore? Going back to Baltimore to beat the Ravens in the AFC Championship game to send the Cleveland Browns to the Super Bowl? I don't want to even touch that game. Like, that game could go either way. Detroit versus Dallas. Detroit was on the verge of winning that game, right? They were on the verge of winning the game. A horrible phantom call gets called, and boom, you lose the game. I want to see this rematch really badly. These are 2 rematches. The Browns and Baltimore, they split in the regular season. Obviously, that second game was amazing. 14-14 for 217 and 2 touchdowns with Deshaun Watson to win the game. Dallas and Detroit win because of a horrible call on the field of illegal man downfield when they reported in Taylor Decker. Horrible call. This would be the best championship matchup in my opinion. Cleveland Browns versus Baltimore Ravens. Detroit Lions versus the Dallas Cowboys. This would be the best championship game. And obviously, I'm going to be a little biased. I do think the Browns could win that game. And I do think Detroit could win that game. But I could also see Dallas win that game. No matter what, if these 4 teams are in the division, are in the conference championship, I don't know which way it's going to go either way. And I love that. No one is favorited. No one is favorites. The Browns, they win 2 in a row in the playoffs. And the Ravens dominate the Miami Dolphins. AFC Championship game, they both can be favorited. Same with Detroit and Dallas, both will be favorited. I am so excited. If you guys are excited for this year's NFL playoffs, please let me know in the comments down below. I'll see you guys later. Peace and bye. Go Browns.